Welcome to another edition of Panther Sports Talk right here on EIU. I'm your host, Rich Moser. Thanks to Ryan Pierce for filling in last week. He had that pinch hit for me, and we were down at the OVC Women's Golf Tournament, and he was able to talk to Kim Schuette, the softball coach, and Jimmy Schmitz, and we're going to start with Kim Schuette as well. And Coach, I guess somewhat congratulations. You guys are on the verge of almost locking up the conference championship. We've talked about it through the course of the season, and it's going to come down to one more game you need to win and against the opponent you need to beat to win the title.
Yeah, it'll be good to be back home on our own field, and hopefully we'll win that first one and get it done with and get to celebrate a little bit, and then enjoy the rest of the weekend and come back and play at home again.
Now, last week you're rolling into finals, so you'll have this weekend off to really kind of have the kids focus on their academics and kind of get mentally focused. I'm assuming that the way this works is you probably give them Monday and Tuesday off to study on school. They can do some individual work, and then Thursday really then turn the focus towards the weekend series.
Yeah, we'll work hard. They'll have today, Monday and Tuesday off, and then we'll work hard on Wednesday and Thursday, and then we call it Confidence Day on Friday. Anytime the day before we travel or the day before we play, we deem those as confidence days, where you don't leave the field till you're feeling good, and just sharpen up some things and talk about SIU Edwardsville and go get them this weekend.
Now, you guys came off last week. You went 3-1. You got a midweek series sweep against IUPUI. You were supposed to go over there, and the weather kind of played havoc on their field, and luckily you guys kind of maybe thinking in advance that, hey, we got to tarp our field, had the tarp on, and because of that we're able to get in a series here and win both those games.
Yeah, it's always good to play at home, but anytime you can play, you want to play. And our administration and our grounds crew did a good job getting that ready last minute, and our kids were just excited to play. And thankfully we came out with 2 good wins, convincing wins by the end of the game, and some different people contributed, and that helped us going into the weekend.
Now, I think in a series like that, you have to be happy that a lot of times mentally they look outside, they see the forecast, they find out from you probably that morning that, well, we're not going to IUPI. I mean, you probably have to be happy that it shows about the mental toughness of your team that they showed up and took care of business in both those games.
You're exactly right. We talk a lot about, hey, this is what I'm thinking. I want you guys to be thinking the same way, because when you have 18 players that are ages 18 to 22, you want to try and, as control freak as I am, you want to control what they're thinking and control their mental focus, like you said. We had talked about the night before our practice that this might happen, and I just flat out asked them, do you want to play? And they're like, yeah, coach. So it was a no-brainer, and I'm glad IUPUI was able to come over, and our girls were ready to play right from that first inning. So whenever the horses are ready out of the gate, we do pretty okay.
Then you guys go down to UT Martin, a team that the last couple of years you guys have really had a rivalry with. In fact, both of you have been there really neck and neck to try to either win the race or finish near the top of the standings the last couple of years. We won the regular season a couple years ago. They won it last year, so with that you get the right to host. You go down there, and Mother Nature kind of wins on Saturday, but you were able to come back yesterday and split a doubleheader with them.
Yeah, they got a ton of rain between Friday and Saturday. I think 3 or 4 inches of rain, which kind of downplayed Saturday, but our kids were able to study a little bit. We did a couple things as a team, and then we were ready to go on Sunday. Sunday was UT Martin Senior Day, and it was their day to celebrate that, but we were able to squeak by and win game 1, and then we had a lot more hits than them in game 2. We just couldn't get the hit at the right time. Our hits were very spread out. Their hits happened in 1 inning, and that 1 inning beat us. But 2 good games, and they just beat us in game 2.
Now, with that, you kind of, I guess, get some confidence for that, and the fact that some teams that are going to challenge, you kind of know what their strengths and weaknesses are. Going in the tournament, is it good to play those teams that are going to be near the top at the end of the schedule to kind of find out who's peaking for them?
I guess I don't get too much into that, but I guess that's what my scouting reports are for. It's always good to play anybody. Right now we played Murray a long time ago, and they're playing well right now, so that'll be a lot of back research, to see who's really hot right now. Like you said, baseball, softball, you can get hot and then you can kind of be a good player and not be doing so well. So Right now, I'm just worried about my team. We need to go and show up on Saturday, and before Saturday, we need to work hard in practice because this team has a lot of goals, and we haven't accomplished what we want yet. And we can't remain the same. Other teams are getting better, and we have to keep on getting better. And we talk a lot about let people chase us. Don't look back to see who's behind us, and don't look back to see what other people are doing because we can't really control that. Is just keep the train going and let people try and grab onto us, try and chase us.
Now, you guys will come into this weekend, a doubleheader on Saturday at 1 o'clock over at Williams Field, and then a single game on Sunday. The Sunday game is your senior day. You got a good group of seniors. Fortunately, they're probably going to get to play again at home, and so this isn't their last game there. And if you figure that out on Saturday, do you approach Sunday a little bit different with them and trying to kind of keep their emotions in check? Say, hey, you're going to get to come out here again, kind of take care of business today?
Sure. Senior day is always emotional, even for the freshmen, let alone the seniors, even for the coaches. It's never easy to see someone play their last regular season games. But like you said, at the same time, hopefully we have a long season still ahead of us. We have the conference tournament and hopefully beyond. So it's not necessarily the end of their career, but at the same time, I think it's more of a celebration to show what they've accomplished and what they've helped our program accomplish. When they came in as freshmen, our program was a lot different, and now they're leaving their mark as seniors and leaving the program in a pretty okay spot. So we're really proud of them. They got emotional at UT Martin. I'm sure they'll get emotional at Eastern. But all they're thinking about right now is good practice and winning that first game. And then we'll see what we do with the lineup the rest of the weekend. But we need to go out and win that first game.
All right, Coach. Well, best of luck. And like Coach Schuette said, big games out there at Williams Field this weekend. The Panthers need to win one against SIU Edwardsville to clinch the regular season title and then host the conference tournament. Saturday at 1 o'clock out there at Williams Field. Sunday at noon. The weather looks like it's going to be nice like we have out here today. Hopefully it holds out. The field dries out for you guys. Best of luck, Coach. We'll talk to you next week leading into the conference tournament. Be right back with This Week in EIU Athletics.
Panther fans, here's what's going on in Panther athletics. Baseball goes 2-2 last week. After defeating Benedictine University 14-4 at Coaches Stadium, EIU goes 1-2 at Belmont. They're now 16-24 overall and 6-14 in the OVC. Softball goes 3-1 this past week, sweeping IUPUI at Williams Field, and then this past weekend going 1-1 at UT Martin. EIU is now 35-12 overall and 20-3 in the OVC. Outdoor track was in Des Moines, Iowa for the Drake Relays. Mick Viken posted the only Panther first place finish in the pole vault. Men's and women's golf wrapped up their season at the OVC Championships. The men's team finished 11th overall. Kevin Flack was the top finisher for EIU in 17th place. Women's golf placed 9th at the OVC Championships, and their top finisher was Lauren Williams in 16th place. Now here's what to watch for this week. On Friday, track with day one of the OVC Outdoor Championships over at O'Brien Field. Competition begins at 12 o'clock. Baseball begins a 3-game series over at Coaches Stadium against OVC rival Eastern Kentucky. On Saturday, day 2 of the OVC Outdoor Championships for track over at O'Brien Field. Competition begins at 10 o'clock. Softball with a doubleheader at Williams Field against in-state rival SIU Edwardsville. And baseball with Game 2 of their series against Eastern Kentucky over at Coaches Stadium. On Sunday, softball wraps up their series over at Williams Field against SIU Edwardsville. And baseball concludes their series against Eastern Kentucky over at Coaches Stadium. And next Wednesday, May 8th, baseball travels to Terre Haute, Indiana for a 6 o'clock game against Indiana State. For Panther Sports Talk, I'm Ramin Kabasioun.
Welcome back to Panther Sports Talk. We now turn our focus to baseball, and head coach Jimmy Schmitz standing out here on your field, coach. And you guys will be back at home this weekend against Eastern Kentucky, but I know it's a place where you've been very happy to be. Last week you guys kind of kept that good mojo at home going. You got a midweek win against Benedictine, and so I'm sure you're happy to kind of be back here at home.
No, we really are, right? I mean, the guys are in finals week this week. Just coming back from the Belmont series where we had a chance to possibly win the series with a big win and lost 2 one-run games. But, we have EKU, and it's really a weekend where, I don't have all the records in front of me, but it's a definite sweep need. If we don't sweep this weekend with EKU, then I think tournament-wise, it's mathematically we don't have a shot. So be able to play EKU home. Right now we're 9-3 at home, and the guys feel really good about it. So it's the place to be, and it's for a definite weekend that we have to win, and hopefully we'll come out and play after a long finals week here.
Now, you talked about the series at Belmont. You guys go down there, and on Friday night, you get a complete game from a freshman, Jake Johansmeyer, who's really come on now. Early in the year, I think you knew that he had some potential, but I don't ever think that you thought that he's going to be your Friday night guy when you got this point in the season.
No, I mean, he pitching right now is Coach Anderson's done a great job with a limited amount of guys that we have that are on scholarship and that are able to go. And Jake did not have a good fall. We had Shea Stadium right here. Jake did not have a good fall, but and we just told him to kind of hang in there. His arm had a little bit of issues, and then we had him as our closer. We had him as just a reliever, and then last weekend with SEMO, with Andrew Grahn, kind of not really being a guy right now. We just said we got to go with Jake, and what a good decision that Jason made as a pitching coach. So the thing that Jake does so well is, he really competes, which is important for that Friday night guy. He's quick to the plate, so they can't run on him, and then he really throws all pitches for strikes, and that's really all you got to do. It's hard to do, but if you're able to throw 3 or 4 pitches for strikes, they're not able to sit on one. So he's been a real plus for this year, and I'm looking forward to how he'll do this Friday.
Now you guys come back again on Saturday. You win the game at Belmont, and then on Sunday you go to extra innings and kind of just couldn't get the timely hit during the course of the game and end up losing it in the bottom of the 10th to Belmont, to where you lost the series, but a team that you guys were right there with. So I think you got to at least take away some confidence that, hey, we're right there. We just got to still figure out how to get over the hump.
Yeah, I thought, again, the guys are studying crazy and getting ready for exams, and I thought we competed really, really well. They're 14-4 or 16-5 right now, one top in the league, and to be able to go down there and play that close says a lot that the guys are still playing hard, and that's what you want them to do. We still have 3 weekends to go, but I thought they competed well. We did miss on a couple execution plays and didn't get some big hits, but even yesterday, 2 wind-blown home runs right down the right field line. Luck is not on our side right now, and maybe coming back home will bring it back.
Now, we'll backtrack a little bit. Last week, when you guys played Benedictine, a little change for you in the way that you approached the game, at least from the way I saw it. And part of that, I think, is the fact that you were supposed to play Illinois on Tuesday night, got rained out. And in that game, you probably would have played most of your starters, whereas you would have come back and given some guys an opportunity against Benedictine that normally don't play. Did you have to change that a little bit and kind of go with the normal starting lineup to make sure those guys kind of still played in a rhythm going into the conference series?
Yeah, we had to. We even we put lineups kind of on the board at the beginning of the week so the people knew they were playing Wednesday. Now they're not playing. It turned out to be perfect, though, where we got the big lead, and then I did play everybody. So even those that just get the couple games under their belt, they got at least 2 at-bats. It was a really good game for us. Benedictine's a really good NAI program here in the state. Last year, I think we beat them in the 9th inning. So it was. I think we just play with a lot of confidence here, and able to get that game in with the bad situation. We got to get midweek games in to keep us playing consistent.
Now, you talk about it. You guys head this weekend into finals week. Monday and Tuesday, we talked to Coach Schuette earlier. Kind of days you give them off to study on the academics, and then Wednesday, is that when you guys will really get back out here in the field and try to put in the game plan and focus on Eastern Kentucky?
Yeah, Wednesday, we actually have a scrimmage here. We got to scrimmage ourselves. We wanted to go like a regular game. We're going to have pregame and BP and all that. So you got to get them into the frame of mind that, look, you just had 2 miserable days, miserable nights. Sometimes it's a little lethargic because they're so tired. But everything's off from weights to anything until Wednesday. So it's worked in the past, and like I said, the guys do a pretty good job of coming out Wednesday getting ready. Now you guys will play Eastern Kentucky this weekend, 3-game series, 3 o'clock on Friday, 1 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday. You had talked already that with how the schedule goes, you guys have 3 conference weekends left, but only 6 of the 10 teams make the conference tournament, or 6 of the 11 actually make the conference tournament. So
spots to get into the tournament or opportunities are kind of fading. So I know you don't like to talk sweep, but you kind of look at the numbers that you might be at that situation.
Well, and again, I think, 2 weekends ago with SEMO, we said that Sunday was a must-win. At Belmont, we talked about how critical it was to win 2. We didn't do it, but we played with that kind of urgency. The guys know when we got on the bus coming home, we got to come home. It's must-win. We got to win all 3. You win 2, you only pick up 1 game, and so the guys have responded well. Hopefully we can do that, and obviously we've done it with Murray here, so a sweep is definitely viable. We just hopefully can do it.
All right, Coach, best of luck with that. Reminder, you guys can get out here. It's going to be a big weekend of activities on campus. Baseball at 3 o'clock on Friday, 1 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday, and then softball over there on Saturday and Sunday as well at 1 and at noon. Be right back with this little bit more of Panther Sports Talk right here on WIU.
Game on the line, 2-point conversion. They throw it to Laura, running around the right end on a reverse. Throws a pass, and it is caught. The Panthers win.
WEIU is your home for Eastern Illinois Panther football. Eric Laura and Jimmy Garoppolo lead the Panthers' potent offense in 2013 as EIU looks to repeat as OVC champs. It's Eastern Illinois Panther football coming in September on WEIU.
Welcome back to Panther Sports Talk. We're getting ready to wrap up this weekend's edition, and we're getting ready to wrap down the end of the year as well. We hope everybody can come out to campus this weekend. A lot of activities. Like we said, baseball is on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3, 1, and 1. Softball on Saturday and Sunday at 1 and at noon. And then also the OVC track championships are here at Eastern at O'Brien Field on Friday and Saturday. And as we head out this weekend's show, we've got a feature on senior hurdler Dominique Hall from the men's team as the Panthers go to try to clinch a 4th straight outdoor championship. When that's over, we're going to wrap up the show with some highlights from this past weekend's spring game. Football, yes, is right around the corner after the end of the summer. Another exciting year coming up for Dino Babers and his staff. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week on Panther Sports Talk on WIU.
EIU Track and Field is preparing to host their season-ending OVC championship meet, and one of the seniors who will be missed next year is hurdler Dominique Hall. Head coach Tom Akers says Hall has had a great career, and he's just living up to the standards he sets for himself.
When we bring in freshmen, we talk about the responsibility of living up to what's been set before them, and Dominique definitely has lived up to those standards. I mean, he's taken that to heart, he's worked hard, he's accepted those responsibilities, and definitely been a huge contributor, not only points-wise, performance-wise, but also leadership-wise.
Hall said when he got to EIU, the success the team had already experienced motivated him to do even better than he did in high school.
Coming in, I knew that they were a good team. I didn't quite know what to. Well, I was kind of cocky when I first came in, and being on a team full of good people and good athletes, they knock you down a notch, but then they bring you back up at the same time. So it was an eye-opener at first as far as the adjustments, but then coming back, getting adjusted to it, and then going to conference my first season, I didn't know what to expect, and then everyone there, they literally don't really like us just because we win a lot. So I walked past a girl and she was just like, I don't care who wins as long as they don't win. So that right there kind of just gave me like a little bit of juice to use, I guess. For the most part, I mean, I think I'm pretty lucky to be on a team that wins all the time like that. It definitely comes with expectations to keep winning. So a little pressure, but you're used to it, so it's not that bad.
You know, the nice part about coaching is you get to know them during the recruiting process, and then they're here for 4 or 5 years, and you get to know them on a more personal level. You know, nice young man, highly competitive, very hard worker, doesn't like to lose, and you know, just to see how far he's come since he came here as a freshman is definitely rewards for that hard work that he's put in.
Hall was recently given the EIU Male Senior Athlete of the Year award, and Coach Akers says it's just an indication of all the hard work he's put in the last 4 years.
It's a tribute to Dom. I mean, you know, a lot of athletes come into EIU with a lot of potential, and living up to that potential can be very difficult. There are so many distractions here at the collegiate level for an athlete that can take away from their performances and their practices. Dom has not let those detract from what he's trying to do. Each year he's gotten better. He's improved over the years. He's been a very solid student throughout, and accomplished some things that I think may have been, maybe even higher than what he expected when he came out of high school. So I think it's definitely a nice tribute to Dominique.
That was a big surprise. Man, when I heard they were given, I guess, the credentials, and then at first I was like, oh, that could be me. And then they said a couple of things. I was like, wait, maybe it's not me. And once they said my name, my face lit up. I had the biggest smile in the world. I was just so surprised. It was a great honor.
As the senior season comes to a close, Hall says he feels he's performing as well as he ever has, as he was a part of a school record in the shuttle hurdles at Drake this past weekend.
Right now, how I'm doing, it is the best so far this year. My indoor season, I've actually run 8-0, and usually my indoor season isn't very fast just because I struggle with my start. But this year, we made a lot of progress coming in early. For the most part, it's working.
High hurdle wise, he's not where he left off last year. Intermediate hurdle wise, he's run right at PRs, and he's ready to drop some more time. I think the next time he steps out on the track, if we get good weather conditions. The faster times in the highs are going to start coming now that we're entering into the peak phase of our training season. So as we quicken up and lighten the load, I think we've got a great possibility going sub 14, and I know that's a goal that he has set for himself.
As for competing after his collegiate career, the Belvedere, Illinois native says he still has some things he wants to accomplish.
Actually, right now, I do plan on continuing track. I'll have to come back for another semester, so it'll give me some time to still lift and work out. But my personal goal was to break 8 and to break 14 outdoors. I ran 8:03, so I didn't break 8. So I will be back doing some open meets until I break it. And as far as outdoor breaking 14, season's not over yet, so we'll see.
Reporting for Panther Sports Talk, I'm Brad Kupiak.
Here we go. Panthers on 3. 1,